ที่เราทีวีเปลี่ยนพี่เราเปลี่ยนเยอะเราสมมติว่าเราเปลี่ยนพี่เราพี่เราพี่ชินทำให้ชินนี้เจ้าทำยาเลยลงหัวนะ
A civil war is tearing Myanmar apart. Since 2021, ethnic armies and civilian militia groups have been fighting for democracy against the military, who seized power in a coup. Atrocities are rising across Myanmar. Using never-before-seen footage, testimony from military insiders, and documents the generals are desperate to hide. Al Jazeera exposes what's really happening on the battlefield and beyond. Deep in the jungles of southeast Myanmar, a coalition of resistance forces are preparing to raid a military compound. These civilian fighters are allied with the National Unity Government, exiled democratic leaders deposed by the coup.
This fight must be the last fight for freedom in our country. If we cannot fight and win this time, we will lose forever.
The base fortifies a river in Bago region. Helmet cams record their brazen operation to cut off one of the junta's transport corridors.
Yeah, also talk about it. I'm said that talk about how much I do. Yeah, I'm few minutes. I could do well. So there.
This graphic frontline footage should be viewed with discretion. The rebel fighters have intel that the base is vulnerable. Most soldiers stationed here are away, engaged in battles further north. Still, the rebels take no chances when breaching the first lines of defense. Lu Fi is a commander of this operation. One excited fighter, Dang Ni, films their progress. Just 3 hours into the assault, they've been able to occupy buildings on the base. But soon, they face heavy gunfire from soldiers deep within the compound. The resistance fighters bait the enemy, urging them not to die for the military generals. Halfway into the battle, a resistance fighter called Lightning is hit by a bullet. Medics can't save him. He's another fatality in a war that's claimed over 50,000 lives. Dao Ni, who was filming himself earlier, is another casualty. He is among 20 rebel fighters killed that day. Despite heavy losses, they capture some low-ranking soldiers, including these bandaged men, who are questioned. The fighters also pillaged desperately needed weapons from a junta commander's house. After holding the base for 4 days, continual airstrikes by the junta forced the insurgents to flee. Footage of this mission, given exclusively to Al Jazeera, is a rare look at the triumphs and challenges for Myanmar's rebel armies.
We see all-out warfare from resistance groups. There may be divisions later on, but what we're seeing now is the resistance groups working together in tandem to take Myanmar military posts, towns, operational centers.
Rebel forces have taken so much territory that this country of 57 million people is at risk of fragmenting. In a joint offensive during 2023, local resistance groups liberated most of Karenni, Myanmar's smallest state. Lazarus John serves in one of those forces, the Karenni National People's Liberation Front, which now guards rebel-held terrain. The KNPLF's 2,000 active members are largely youth.
After the Union Jack had been replaced, the people of Rangoon were celebrating independence in many different ways.
After British colonial rule over Myanmar ended in 1948, the Karenni and other ethnic minorities were oppressed under 49 years of military dictatorship.
These troops are members of an army that's fighting one of the world's least reported wars of liberation.
They formed guerrilla armies to fight for more rights over their frontier provinces, culminating in territorial warfare with the junta and each other. While other ethnic armies kept fighting, the KNPLF signed a ceasefire with the military and even served as their border force during a decade of democratic transitional rule before the coup. But 2 years after the generals seized power, the KNPLF officially defected from the junta and joined the resistance forces. Myanmar's military responded to this betrayal by attacking Karenni communities. Today, their planes and drones continue to rain death from the sky, targeting schools, churches, and villages in rebel-held towns. The KNPLF's main headquarters was a recent target of an airstrike. The conflict has displaced more than 3 million civilians nationwide. To maintain stability, resistance forces are rapidly rebuilding and governing these shattered societies.
Schools, health facilities, police forces, just local governance. And you see that in many states throughout the country. And in places like Karenni, it's working really, really well.
Karenni State has set up its own judicial system, where judges have already ruled on cases involving murder, drugs, even crimes committed by rebel fighters. The coup's violent fallout was the catalyst for war, fueling a civilian uprising that has strengthened decades of ethnic insurgency.
The ethnic armed forces are like kind of the backbone of the revolution, I would say.
Battle-hardened ethnic armies united with a pro-democracy movement. They launched operations that seized towns and territory from the junta.